I skipped across.
That was awesome how we just witnessed him talk about golf and then just like straight up from the sport he probably knows the absolute least about to the sport that he's just a pure
No, we didn't
expert.
talk football.
My bad.
Horns down, baby.
Hey.
That was quick.
Hey,
That was really funny.
he finished second in Mortals.
Oh!
I got contact.
And he got swung.
I got contact before I did that. I got contact before I did
the
that.
little feel there.
Good evening, degenerates, and welcome back to another episode of Degen Hours.
DJ now.
We have a big week this week.
Huge week.
There's a lot to cover, and it's not what we usually do. March Madness wrapped up.
Yep.
We're going to go over all the action that happened, how our bets went. We were pretty sharp towards the end there for March Madness.
Yeah.
Our bracket, not so sharp. We made that beforehand, though. Big week this week because Masters were here.
Oh, yeah.
Finally,
We're ready.
first golf major of the year, the Masters, best weekend, Augusta, Georgia. We got a lot of bets. Tiger Woods got some juice on him this week.
A lot of juice.
A lot of juice behind Tiger.
Mr. Woods.
We're going to talk about Mr. Woods. He's apparently celibate, which is big.
No distractions.
That's relevant.
Yeah.
No distractions.
No women.
Hell, am I hurt? Am I
No
hurt?
women.
But we're going to talk about that in a sec, as well as UFC 300. The card Dana White has been hyping up forever. Yeah. That's coming this week, too. So, covering all the madness, let's get right into it. March Madness has come to a close, and UConn just remained dominant.
The
I mean,
Huskies.
this is a historic run that the Huskies have been on.
Literally.
Not only just being a dominant team all of last season and then going and winning the championship by what they win against San Diego State last year, 30?
I think it was like 20.
They won by a bunch.
Yeah.
They murdered them in the championship last year.
And they won by
This
18.
year,
15.
absolutely
15.
crush it. The number one overall one seed. Cover every spread in the tournament. Double-digit wins for everything. And then just walk to the championship.
That's the definition of dominant.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the. I saw something. It was, I forget who it was, but it was some sports reporter was basically saying like, this is the hardest sporting event in the world to win, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
And they made such a joke of this tournament,
Back to back, yeah.
like back to back, that it's just like, what do you do?
Yeah, they did.
It's so dominant. I mean, Zach Edey, they kind of did an interesting strategy on him in the championship. They kind of just let him do whatever. They
And
let
shut down
him
everything
score.
else.
They just let everyone else. Everyone else was so focused on Purdue just stopping Zach Edey, and then they found out really quick you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Whether it was just scoring all the time, the refs, him getting the line all the time, whatever it was. But UConn, he had 37 and 10 in the championship game,
Yep.
and UConn won by 15.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with that? I mean, he did all he could. They just let him eat, but the rest of the team was just trash.
Yeah, they can't help.
I
I
mean,
think that's just good coaching. Like realizing
Agreed.
that at the end of the day, it's like, dude, basketball is a team sport. Yeah, if you have one guy going against five guys, and you're all at a pretty high level, like it's just not gonna work.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I-
it was obvious which team was better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, just,
no one could have
one-
beat UConn.
they were such
It
a
doesn't matter.
fluid team offensively. Like every possession was just like either consistent rebounds against every other team that wasn't who they play Purdue because Zach Edey is so big, but it's like everyone else, like they're pretty dominant on game boards and just making good of their possessions, getting a shit ton
They
of
have
points
some
every
dogs on
time.
that
Like
team. But
Yeah,
I
it
mean-
might have been the weirdest March Madness I've ever seen. I've never seen
because
like
they were so dominant.
1-2 versus 1-3 and then into a 1-1. You always see like random 11.
it wasn't 1-2,
7s.
1-3.
Wasn't it?
It was
Illinois
1-4.
Oh, I
One-
forgot.
oh,
and it
yeah,
was
NC State.
1-11.
Still, I still-
1-4, 1-11.
Still,
yeah.
it's pretty wild seeing 1-1 after.
yeah, seeing
Everything
1-1.
went
No, the 1-1 championship, I agree. It was kind of a weird pattern that we pointed out early on, where there's a lot of upsets round one. Basically, no upsets round two. The only upset was Baylor losing to Clemson in round two. There was other 15 money lines won, and then not many a decent amount of upsets next round, and then going in the championship was the 1-1.
That was weird.
So
That
yeah,
weird
it
year.
was a weird year. Our bracket, just to quickly recap.
Oh god.
We had Tennessee winning. We ended in the 38th percentile.
Okay.
Tennessee wasn't that big.
Mario goes, okay.
Terrible. 570
bad.
total
Oh
points.
boy.
For the ESPN bet group that we joined, we were in 300,000 or like 305,000th place, and then Sports Center we were 916.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
But not in the millions. I'll take it.
That's not good.
I mean,
Not
yeah,
great.
It's not good either. Yeah, we weren't the sharpest pre-tournament, but we were giving out some good lines towards the end there. We caught
Oh.
fire as we were going on.
Yeah.
That was really.
But yeah, enough about March Madness. It's in the past. It's like the most fun month to cover
Yeah,
content
pretty lit.
because you don't follow college basketball, at least for me. most of the season.
No, I mean,
and
I
at
don't
the
think
end,
anyone
all of a
does,
sudden,
yeah.
you're just like,
Thrown into
like spotting
expert.
lines, just
An
like,
expert.
yeah, you just know everything about it. And then as soon as the championship game hit on Monday, you're just like, okay,
It's over.
it's over. Like
Yeah.
Masters Week, UFC, let's go. NFL
March.
draft coming up.
Now it's April.
I also
NBA.
think it's nice because it's so long that you kind of get all out of your system, and
Yeah.
then you're at the end of it, you're just like, wow, this was a great experience, and like you know,
It's
you're
a
not hungry
solid.
for
It's
more.
a solid 3 weeks. It's like
Yeah.
a very action-packed 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was a fun tournament. I feel like we covered that pretty in depth too. So
Oh, yeah.
hopefully you guys like that. I know the videos were going crazy. You guys were absolutely loving that. So definitely gonna do it next year.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely
Oh, yeah.
gonna cover March Madness next year. But all right, enough about March Madness. It's in the past. We are now in April, Masters Week. Let's talk some
April.
Masters. It is officially the inaugural kickoff of golf season for everyone.
Best week of the year.
It's the best week of the year. Yeah, everyone who watches golf, like, there are obviously tournaments going year round, you know, but Masters Week is kind of the official.
different.
Like everything else is in
biggest.
the rear view mirror. Masters ahead of us. You start watching old Tiger highlights. You start hearing all like the stories. Really gets you locked in. Augusta, Georgia, just a beautiful place to have. I mean, I need to go play that course. Every time I look at it,
I
I'm
wish
like,
we could
damn,
play.
I need to
Yeah.
go play
How-
that course.
how
Go
you gonna
out
do
there,
that?
head out there and play it. Yeah.
You need to know someone. My cousin Jason's played it.
That's
He
insane.
said,
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, he said it's pretty hard. I heard it's a hard course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I
I
mean,
heard it's hard
We're not
course.
going low.
Just
How
a little,
difficult could it?
little difficult.
Oh, here we go.
I-
This is why we did the golf video. If
Yeah,
you
we
haven't
don't
seen
need
the
to do
golf
another
vlog,
golf video, Mike.
It's such a well-known course. Like I could probably tell you that
You'd shoot 200 there.
I probably.
Okay,
yeah, okay,
thank
there
you.
we
Thank
go.
you.
I was
Okay,
gonna say,
perfect.
I always thought he was about to say
Sure.
something outlandish. Guy can barely break a $140 at like
Whoa,
mile square down the
Cass.
street.
Colin Kaepernick.
What are you shooting out there?
Not well. Not well.
But
120.
But yeah, looking at the entire field, I just want to go around the table, everyone to give out their picks to win the Masters, because there's some crazy odds going. I mean,
Oh, of course.
I don't know. I didn't look this up, but Scotty Scheffler at plus 325 to win. Is that the lowest odds pre-tournament in the last like 10 years?
Since Tiger
Since Tiger was on his
100%.
run?
Not even close.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I mean, like he is just on fire. Plus 325 feels like
Well, not for this week. Last week he was plus 325.
For
the Masters.
He's saying.
No, he's plus 450.
I'm seeing him
No,
plus
I saw
325.
plus 375. There's
Dude,
a
I don't
bunch of
know where.
numbers.
Like I've only seen 400s.
Oh well,
Oh,
That's
yeah, we've seen
that's
it everywhere.
wild.
if you can get him there, get him there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
give out give out.
325. That's less than last week.
That's what I saw when I looked it up. Like
I saw
an hour ago.
375, literally 30.
Yeah, I saw 325.
Wow, that's
People were betting
wild.
it at that too. But
getting robbed.
you know,
That's the suckers.
there's your range probably at the books that you're able to get it at.
It's not a sucker.
But Tate, I want to start with you here. Just kind of let the people know where you're thinking, what you're thinking this Masters is going to look like, and if you have any people that you think are good bets at the numbers you see to win, because obviously, like you're going to see some discrepancy, especially when there's a million players.
Yeah, I mean, kind of going down the leaderboard, it's hard to get away from just thinking, oh, who's going to win the Masters, and just skipping past Scotty Scheffler. I mean, I can't. You can't bet it. It's plus 450. It's or 325 or whatever you have it at. That's not enough. It's actually insane, especially with the field having all the live players. But there's, kind of speaking of live, that's like one of my very favorite picks of the week is Joaquin Niemann to win the Masters,
Ooh.
plus 2,800. Joaquin Niemann is playing actually on another planet than everyone else right now. He's gaining more strokes to the field than anyone in golf, including the PGA Tour. Like he's like 0.1 more strokes than Scotty Scheffler, technically.
Wow.
I know he's playing on a different tour. Everything's a little different.
Yeah, a little
but so
different
take that with a grain of salt. He's playing on another planet on the Live Tour lately, so he's just playing at a super insane level. And to have him as like, I don't know, 15th in the like winning odds.
Yep,
That's
he's right
too much
around
value
there.
to pass up on. Absolutely love Joaquin Niemann this week. As for my favorite, like my highest favorite pick to win is Xander Schauffele at plus.
Love Xander.
Yeah, I
Is
think
it
I got
18
it.
to 1 or something?
Love
Yeah,
Xander.
I got Xander. I got Xander at 14.
I see 18.
Okay,
Yeah.
so 1,800. Yeah, so you can get Xander up to like 1,800. I mean, that guy was balling. He should have won the Players.
He plays well in big tournaments.
Yeah,
Oh,
historically, yeah.
Scotty's
Consistent,
him.
yeah.
I was so like going along the lines of Xander to win. He's going to be contending in this tournament.
Yeah.
Bet him to be top 5, top 10. It's going to be a great bet too. And then my long shot of the tournament, Corey Connors plus 7,000.
Whoa.
That's deep.
It's gonna be a little windy, a little rainy on Thursday in the morning, especially. So there's gonna be a little weather involved. Someone like Corey Connors, coming from the cold, north in Canada, up there. He's a
Way up
good
there.
weather player.
Canada.
People like, Cam Smith, Tyrrell Hatton, Shane Lowry. Those kind of guys play better in weather. So sprinkle your bets in with those guys. But Corey Connors, Joaquin Neiman, Xander Schauffele, my favorite winners for the week.
Ooh.
Yeah,
all right.
sharp.
What are you looking at, Ryan?
I got to ride with Xander. I mean, the guy's just too consistent in these big tournaments not to get. I mean, 18-1 is a lot for a guy who's probably like one of the most consistent players to finish top 10 if you're gonna bet something.
Yeah, especially if you think he's gonna be there on Sunday.
Yeah, he's the
then
type of guy.
You're getting better odds than you get Sunday morning.
100%. And then the Scheffler bet, what I've been doing lately is just waiting for his odds live to get that deep. I think you can get better live. Like I think
Yeah.
he had a bad first round last week or 2 weeks ago, and I bet him he was at plus 300 before the tournament. I bet him at plus 385. He was down like 8 strokes and then came back. I just think you should wait.
Didn't you win that by like
crazy.
3 or something?
Down 8 strokes, wins by 3.
No, I'm
plus
saying-
300.
I'm saying so
That's
like
crazy.
I think the best bet
So
on the
good.
first round of these big tournaments, there's these guys that go nuts.
Yeah.
That are nobodies that are gonna drop off. They go
Yeah.
7-8 under, they have one freak day and they're gonna drop off. Scheffler's the guy who can go 2 or 3 under, maybe have a bad day, but he's gonna get 5 under, 5 under, 5 under to finish the tournament. You can get him at crazy odds after a day. I think you should wait instead of betting him at this such a small number.
So wait, but bet Scheffler.
Wait, but bet Scheffler for sure. And then one of my long shot bets, I got to add it. Sahith Theegala. He's
Hey!
50-1. I have to
Theegala.
bet him. He finished 9th last year in the Masters. He's
Yep.
actually on a tear this year. He has 4 top 10 finishes. If he continues that and maybe makes a run, I think he could do it. He's in form. He's putting the best he's ever putted in his life. So I think that he has a great chance to win it. 50-1 is too juicy for me. It's one of my longest.
He's 15th in the world right now too.
No, he's
That guy's
on fire this year. He's
Yeah.
literally playing out of his mind. So I'm rolling with it.
No,
That's
I
all I
actually. So you stole my thunder on one of my long shots there.
Oh, the
I
Sahith.
love Sahith Theegala.
Wow.
Plus 5,000.
Wow.
I
Jeez.
think
50-1.
I saw the
That's
same.
a
Yeah,
dollar.
I saw the same
That's a ride.
things where it was just like he's on fire, top 15 in the world. Super overlooked
Yeah,
for
crazy.
the odds where he's at right
Played
now.
great last year,
Who
too.
knows? Yeah, he's kind of dialed in. I'm gonna bet Scotty pre-tournament. I'm also if and when the odds drop, I'm gonna bet him. I'm just not gonna be watching 24/7
that's
like
tough,
the
yeah.
live odds, so I don't want to like miss a snipe opportunity. And then he's up 3 strokes, and I'm just stuck there,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, well, I don't have Scotty when I knew he was gonna win.
Well,
So I'm gonna bet Scotty. It's kind of funny. You guys said Xander too. Xander plus 1800. I absolutely like that. I watched him play at the U.S. Open when I was there. I love watching him in majors. He's always in the mix. Jordan Spieth plus 2000. So
Oh,
that's a heart bet for me.
it's always, yeah,
It's a tradition.
Every single
It's a
We
tournament.
haven't talked golf, so you guys don't know this about me, but I'm a Jordan Spieth like
Huge.
diehard fan. When he was on his tear was when I was really getting into golf for the first time. So I was just like, Jordan Spieth is everything. I was having the Under Armour like polos. I was going for it. And so I always bet him. And Jordan, there's a very good chance he's very much in the mix.
He does have a good Masters
off
resume.
of Friday. Oh,
And
great
then
job.
He's also been
Yeah.
playing well.
Well, and
Yeah.
he's always like his thing is that he'll fall off towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about the plus 2000 here is that if he continues that trend, it means he's probably gonna have a good Thursday, Friday. So if he's heading in like first page of the leaderboard on Saturday, I like having one of my horses up there with the plus 2000 next to him. So
Fair.
that's my Jordan Spieth. Tony Finau plus 3500.
That's
Ooh, I like
sneaky.
that.
Never missed a cut at the Masters.
Yep.
Never missed a
Maybe
cut.
he's Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent,
Yeah.
but never gets it done. Every year, people convince themselves like, "Oh, this is his year." I'm gonna keep betting it. He's never missed a cut, so it's like I like having those safe-ish bets
You're
with
getting
a bunch
35
of
to 1 on
juice.
Saturday. No
That's
matter
what I'm saying, and he's on Saturday, so I like that. We already said Sahith, and then Tiger Woods. You're getting 100 to 1.
Principle.
100 to 1. I'll be damned if we're ever talking golf. Tiger Woods is in the Masters fields. He's supposed to be healthy. At least that's what they say.
Celibate.
And you're giving him
No
a-
distractions.
Nothing's drained.
and you're giving him 100 to 1. Like, if you're gonna tell me Tiger Woods plus 10,000 playing the Masters, and you don't bet it, I feel like you have to bend
People
the
did
clock.
it 3
You have
years
to
ago.
be a brain
They got
dead.
fucked up, so.
That's what I don't know. All I'm saying is that's a principal bet. Anyone who watches golf should bet
No,
this.
I love it. I'll bet
It's
it.
too juice not to bet. Even like $50 or whatever. Just like it's Tiger
Beautiful.
Woods. He intimidates everyone.
50 little
Yeah.
$5
He doesn't even have to do his thing. If he's on the leaderboard or close on Sunday,
Shaking.
yeah, everyone else is shaking. He's locked
That would be
in. So
sick to see Scotty versus Tiger and like Sunday coming down.
please give me that.
That would be.
Please give me that. My plus 325, my plus 10,000.
Best player in the last
Head to
like
head.
5 years versus the best player.
Versus the GOAT.
Oh, yeah, GOAT.
That'd be electric. So yeah, those are my picks.
All right. Well, you three are clearly well more informed about this topic than I.
Well more informed.
Well more.
We're way well more
Is
informed.
that one word or two words? Well more?
Well more informed.
Well, more.
Yes.
Well, yes.
Well more informed.
Not less more. Well more.
Well more.
It's a legal firm. But anyways,
What?
well
So
more
sponsor Legal
informed.
Zoom. Thank. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Bag.
Will he make a pick?
All right. Yeah.
Big show.
So, my number one pick, just off a pure energy feel,
Okay.
Wyndham Clark
Oh.
at plus
His
1500.
throwback.
That's good.
Just sharp.
He's a stud.
That's my
Just
number
sharp.
one pick. That's who my guy is
Love
for
it.
the
Never
tournament.
played the Masters. I still love it. He's on fire.
No, he's
Last time
He's
Mike
on
bet him, he
fire.
hit it at plus $1 million.
he's so on fire. His pants are on fire.
I mean, he is also, fifth and on, so it's
Yeah.
not terrible.
He's
No,
on
no,
Bang.
On the
he's
tear.
playing out of
Yeah.
fun.
No, I'm insane. And
He's Wyndham Clark. He's insane.
no, I just know how to pick it.
Kenny.
So
Yeah.
next, my second backup runner-up.
Wait, so you finished the second?
Your second backup runner.
Second place finisher.
The second backup runner up.
Backup runner
This
up.
is getting real tough to listen to, and I'm sitting right next to you.
is Mr. Live Golf himself, Roy McIlroy. He's at Live, right?
Michael watches
How
golf.
about Mr. Just Rory McIlroy?
Yeah, Mr. Roy McIlroy plus 1,000. Good enough juice, and that's it. And then
We should do golf more often, dude. This is so entertaining.
and then my long shot.
I'm gonna love this.
Never heard of him.
Who is it?
Sam Burns.
Oh,
Wait,
Plus
what?
5,000.
Wait,
Oh,
no,
Sam
that
Burns.
can't be right.
He is plus 5,000.
Wow,
Yeah, never heard of him.
that's kind of sharp.
Never heard of him. But he has a
Sam-
great name. He has a winning name. And I
Never
know
won.
that the Masters committee would want him a part of their circle.
He's a good player. Sam Burns. Is a good
I mean, he
player.
has a great name.
Great name.
Great
Great
name,
name.
great
Great
name.
odds.
It was funny.
Great name, great odds.
Right before we filmed this, I was pitching this to the guys. I was like, you know what we should do is we should all video ourselves watching a sport we don't know anything about.
I should talk about
And
golf.
I feel like we just witnessed some of that.
A lot of potential.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
viewers are just brain
Lot to
dead.
unpack for the viewer at home. I'm sure that was a
Yeah,
really
great
listenable
driver.
segment for you.
That was awesome.
Mario, how about you shed some light on where your brain's leading you here?
Yeah, so I'm not really
Yeah,
much
shed
of
the
a
light.
I'm not much of a golf guy. But I was talking with Ryan before we filmed this, giving him some of my picks. So I have a few of the same picks
right,
you
let's
guys
hear 'em.
have. I like Scotty.
Yep.
Plus 325, obviously. He's the one guy I know recently just been out of this world.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Rory, so might sprinkle Rory plus 1,000. But the guy that I really like,
Mr. Live.
the two guys I like actually are Xander Schauffele plus 1,800 and Victor Hovland
Hey,
plus 2,200.
There's a name we
Vic.
haven't tossed
Vic
around.
Old Vic.
Yeah,
I don't know, something
he's gonna
about-
need old Vic to win the
Old
tournament.
Vic.
No, I like Vic. I don't know, something about him.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a cool guy.
First round leader
It's a
last
buy low spot for sure. He's like a very very good player.
Yeah, he's
just in
top
a
tier.
bit of a slump at the moment, but yeah,
Yeah.
if he turns it around
feel like
this week, it's like
The
I
big
agree.
players for
I
these
agree.
kind of like big tournaments, I don't know, they can kind of get up for it, especially the
year, he was
Masters.
First round leader. If
Yeah.
he
For
just
sure.
continues.
It's definitely golf's such a
beast.
mental game, and you see that often with even the really, really good young guys will just typically not do anything at the Masters unless they're something special. And some of the older guys, back in the day, even past his prime, Jason Day, you were still seeing compete on the leaderboard on Sundays
Well,
when he
it's-
wasn't in any other tournaments. He
Phil
wouldn't do it.
Mickelson last year got
Exactly.
fourth in the Masters.
Yeah.
it's that tournament that is I think it, if not the most directly correlated to course history in on the
Out
whole
of all the
PGA Tour.
yeah.
I mean, just in general, yeah. That course at Augusta is one of the most
It'll get you.
correlated.
Thinking putting that stat in context just shows you how hard it is to even get there in the first place. Because if you're only as good as your history, you have to have an outlier year one of these years.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to do something else. You'll forever just be
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of screwed. But all right.
Well, I have to give away
Oh yeah, give away the last one.
my long shot.
All right, let's hear it.
I will be betting on Tiger, but my long shot, just because this guy has the coolest golf name of all time, Bubba Watson.
Oh yeah,
Bubba.
Yeah,
We all know
Masters
Bubba.
Masters champion.
That's
Yeah,
what
we
I'm
all know
saying.
Bubba.
200 to 1. I like the guys that can win it and have no
He's
pressure.
200 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh, he has two. Oh, he's 20,000.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
And he has no pressure
Juice.
or expectations. So he can just go out and just golf, and he's won it before. So, and his name's Bubba. That's just
Wow, just scrolling down this list. I mean, you're looking at like former Masters champion Danny Willett
Danny
at
Willett.
350 to
I
1.
know, yeah.
Like, you're never gonna bet that guy.
Imagine having
Granted, he
that.
shouldn't have won the Masters that year. It's the Jordan Spieth collapse. But
yeah,
yeah, you see some of these Masters champions this low. It's kind of funny.
yeah.
That you're like,
That's
whoa.
lit.
I love
But
Bubba Watson.
all right, next, favorite props. Because these are all
This
to
is
win.
Max
These are
Boy.
always like the plus a bunch of money.
These
You're
are the
throwing
real
your money,
bets.
hoping to reel in a big fish. These are the bread and butter of the Masters. Are the prop bets. Tate, I'm going to you here. You've been pretty sharp on your golf props, making some shorts about them.
No, not really.
Well, you haven't been good.
When you
In
don't
fact-
make a short.
In fact, yes, fade all of my picks.
Well, I was gonna say
Yeah,
I
you
lose every time.
You've been
Every time.
betting well on golf,
Yes.
but not posting well on
Yeah,
golf.
Yes.
maybe when
But we haven't talked golf on the pod.
That's
true.
So
Yeah.
tell us what you're
this
betting
is a fresh slate.
and
Okay.
not making shorts on.
Well, tradition every year, no matter what, it's like I just have to bet it every single year plus 200. Patrick Reed to miss the cut.
We all hate Patrick.
Captain
Reed.
America.
Captain America. Down with Patrick Reed. No, we hate you, Patrick Reed. Not a friend of the pod.
First Masters champion.
Exactly, and a cheater. Miss the cut, please. Plus 200. That's my
Allegedly.
favorite.
That's juice.
Alleged cheating.
Yep,
Alleged.
that's my favorite. That's like my favorite, like actual, just like kind of like random prop. But then I've got like my top 5, which I mean my top 5, my top 10, my top 20. Pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Sorry, they're just.
Just rail them off.
No, I need some juice back because I'm bad on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, Scotty, even money. You bet it now. It's only gonna go down
top 5?
For top 5.
Yeah.
Even money. I
That's
put,
a hammer.
already
Mortgage,
put
the
that's a
house,
hammer on it. He'll be contending.
Your friend's
doesn't-
house, everything.
No sweat it. Xander Schauffele top 10 plus 140.
Love that.
And Joaquin Neiman at even money for top 20.
I like
So
it.
I literally
Ooh.
just writing my winners.
Yep.
And then honorary mention top 10 and top 20 Siwoo Kim.
Siwoo.
Watch
Shout
out for
out-
my boy Siwoo Kim.
The
Shout
perennial
out Korea.
contender.
Never missed
Shout out
That's
Korea.
Mike's boy.
Out of
Shout
the
out
6
Korea.
times he's played the Masters, only missed the cut once, and he's had 4 top 25 finishes.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Ryan, what are we
Top
looking at?
25.
He doesn't believe it.
That's terrible.
I mean, it's terrible. Top
That's terrible.
Top 25 at a Masters, the hardest golf course to play in the entire world.
All right,
Just move on.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
move on. Ryan, what are we looking
Yeah,
at?
the
Yeah,
GOAT
that guy
bet,
sucks.
favorite bet for 3 years, never going to leave it, Scotty Scheffler. If you ever see it near minus 200 or better for top 5, put your life on it. You're getting even money now. Go run to every book in America and put your life on it. Scotty Scheffler top 5 is a lock. I have Sahith Theegala. I have him to win at 51. I have him top 20 finish at plus 120. He finished 9th last year, and he's on a tear. He has 4 top 10 finishes here. This is just top 20. Even if he doesn't do good going to Sunday, he'll still like teeter around maybe that 12 to like 15 range. You're getting plus money in him. And then one of my favorite bets for sure of the weekend, Cameron Smith, top 20 is plus 110. In the last 6 Masters he's played, 4 of them he's been top 12. So you're getting top 20, and he's already done it 4 to the 6 times.
And the
I
guy
mean,
has drip.
I mean, yeah,
And he
it's
has
Cameron
drip.
Smith. I just think that's the freest bet. He's going to easily finish top 20, and you're getting juice on it. Hammer it.
I like it. I have a few props. They're not the top 20, top 10, top 5 things. I have one to make the cut, and it's Tiger to make the cut plus 110. So there's two worlds. There's a couple different things. The one, he starts out amazing, is at the top of the leaderboard. Don't think that happens. Very realistic chance he just does terrible and has to withdraw or something, as we've seen, when Tiger gets injured.
That's sad.
I think the most realistic thing is he's like hanging around the middle, sneaks in there by
Makes
like
the
a
cut by,
stroke
like,
or
a stroke
two,
or two.
and then has a great Saturday to like be like, not in the top of the leaderboard, but you're still mentioning him like, hey, Tiger's like 8 back or 6 back, like who
Hey,
knows
if he
what
makes it
happens.
Saturday, you win
So
money.
I love getting plus money on the GOAT, especially the GOAT at Augusta to make the cut. No hole in one for the tournament's plus
No.
165.
That's so electric,
Oh.
though.
It's minus like 210 or 225 for a hole in one. There was a hole in one last year. You're getting plus 165 for no hole in one for a tournament.
How about
I'm just gonna bet it.
Tiger Woods to have a hole in one at plus 10,000?
Yeah, okay. I'd rather bet him to win at the
Yeah,
same
wait,
odds.
That's gnarly.
But I love plus 165 for no hole in one. If it happens, you get to celebrate. It's cool. It's a hole in one. But they're paying you, $1.65 for every dollar you're laying down for no one to get a freaking hole in one. There's only so many par threes, and yeah, I don't know. I like that bet. Nationality of the winner, I'm riding USA plus 165.
Hey.
America.
I think it's a really good bet.
I love that bet.
Especially when you look at, a lot of the people that we like to win. Most of them are American, so I think like going along with that ride, like support the country.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out Ryder Cup, USA to win. And
Feel
then
the eagle.
the last one, I actually love this bet because I think they'll be the winner more than likely, very much more than likely, will come from the final pairing. So winner to come from the final pairing minus 250. So there obviously, if there's a huge grouping at the end of Saturday, you're pretty much screwed. But I think there's a decent chance maybe a Scotty Scheffler or someone else has a couple stroke lead, and they're gonna at least be like
Just run with it.
in the lead, and you could just like hedge out with the guy below him for some. I don't know. When I saw that odds, I was like, wow, if there's any lead getting built on Saturday, this is just free. Like they're handing you this bet for
Yeah.
free. So I love that bet. That's my favorite prop.
I don't know enough about golf to make some props, but what I will be betting on is the nationality of the winner to be United States of America.
Good.
Because
Korean.
I am a patriot and down with Korea, but up with America.
Whoa, what about-
You're Korean,
Dude,
No, down with North Korea.
You are North Korean.
I'm half North Korean.
Whoa,
And half
I don't
South
want-
Korea. Well, you're just Korean.
I feel
I mean,
like
that's fine.
Yeah, just
that was
Korean.
kind of throwing shade on my pick at Siwoo Kim, you know?
I mean,
No,
I don't
no,
know.
no.
This
I
is
mean,
kind of rough.
yeah.
He
I
is
don't know.
throwing shade at your pick.
He's playing
Yeah,
in
I mean-
America, so yeah.
I mean,
That's
Good on him.
if anyone's listening from North Korea, we're just kidding.
To
Mario.
be fair, he's the most
Yeah,
self-loathing
go
Korean I
USA,
know.
go USA, go USA.
Mario, do you have any props, or are you just riding with those winners?
Well, I know Scotty is essentially even money for top 5. So
Free.
yeah, like I said, mortgage your house, your friend's house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, steal money out of your parents' bank account savings.
That's not advised.
All good.
yeah.
All good gambling.
This
advice.
is gambling advice.
It's not.
Yes.
That's
Oh yeah, get a line of credit, whatever you have to
Whatever you
do,
need to do.
just everything, everything.
Rob a bank. I mean,
talk to
whatever.
your mom.
And no hole in one plus 165. I really like that.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I
Ooh.
want to bet, I don't know the odds, is Tiger top 25.
That's
You're going to get quite a bit of juice on
I
that,
know
so.
it's going to be quite a bit
Yeah,
of
you're
juice.
probably
I don't know
like
the exact number, but
plus
whatever it is.
20,000.
Yeah.
No, it's probably like
That's
1,000.
that's what I will be betting. I will find
I like
it and I will put money on it.
I like it.
because I kind of similar to Tyler. I think he's going to hang around there.
Top 20 plus 330.
Love that.
Top 20.
that's
so,
nuts.
yeah,
Top 20.
flat.
That's fine.
Love it.
I could see that.
So
I could see him
He'll-
sneaking in there.
He'll
He's
be
hanging
18.
around.
Sneaky,
Yeah.
He'll be 18.
I like that.
I like that. Well, there you have it. That's all the Masters bets.
Juicy.
We're going to be obviously super locked in. You'll be seeing some shorts and stuff from us sweating out all these bets. Side note, I said I'd do this. Shout out Townsend. He's going to be at the Masters.
Oh,
Shout out
Friend
Friend of the pod.
Shout
out Townsend.
Friend of the
Shout
pod.
out
Big friend of the pod. But we have one more thing to talk about, and it's a big thing.
Oh,
UFC
baby.
300, the biggest UFC
He's
event,
here.
according to Dana White, ever.
Oh, yeah.
He's been hyping this up
Oh, yeah.
for literally ever, and Mike has not stopped talking about this for
A while.
months.
Since 299.
Yeah, since
Couple weeks.
299. Since
Before
before
299.
299 too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely before.
So we're gonna go over all of our bets for that right now.
Woo!
UFC 300, we are here.
Wow.
Whole lot of fights.
Yep.
Whole lot of fights.
They're all main cards.
Yeah.
Last,
Yeah, literally.
last
Every-
time we talked UFC on the pod was UFC 299. Ryan and Mike gave out quite a bit of picks.
Yep.
I want to say, Mike, I think you were 8-2, and Ryan, were you 7-1 or something like that?
Yeah.
8-1 or
8-1,
Yeah.
and you were 8-2. So, unbelievably sharp picks from the guys who are most
Oh, yeah.
tuned into UFC.
Murder.
So, we're not going to make you wait for it. Mike, we're starting with you, and we're going to Ryan next. So, go ahead. Tell the people everything you're thinking for this big fight night.
All right. Well, of course, if you watch the 299 call, we start on the early prelims. We give you all the juice. So, with the first fight of the night, Davidson Figueiredo
But are we,
versus.
just quick note, are we going through every fight?
No, I'm skipping like 2 or 3.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Last time we hit every
every
fight,
single
we
fight.
weren't expecting it, and we were,
Yeah.
but it was
Oh.
worth it. I mean, he paid you.
Bang.
He paid you
Profit.
money.
Bang.
Profit.
He
I'm
paid you
here to
money.
give you money.
Yeah.
So, Davidson Figueiredo at minus 305 versus Cody Triple G Garbrandt at plus 235.
Triple G.
Now, this is kind of sad because Cody has won 2 of his last 3 fights, but in that third fight he lost to Rob Font, and it was a unanimous decision. I mean, he got his ass absolutely handed to him. Whereas Davidson Figueiredo in his last fight absolutely murdered Rob Font so badly that I think Rob Font just should change his name.
Retire.
Hence
No,
the
no, he
odds
should
for
just-
this fight.
Yes.
Yeah, he should probably change his name to Rob. What's a synonym for font? Rob Type. Rob Type.
What?
Bar.
Because font and type.
Is
right?
it font like
Yeah.
a style? Never mind.
Yeah.
Go
Okay.
ahead, Mike.
So
Where are we
either way,
going with this?
either way, You don't bet on either fighter because you're not getting good enough odds on Davidson Figueiredo. So what you do is you take the over of 1.5 rounds at minus 170, obviously better than minus 305. The reason why is because Figueiredo can draw this fight out with his wrestling style. And although Cody is going to probably go in for, kind of like finishing strikes, just have the fight stay standing the whole time, I think they're going to go to a clinch a lot and time's going to be killed. So over 1.5 rounds. Skipping a fight and then going to Bobby Green versus old Jim Miller. Bobby Green is minus...
Old Jim Miller.
Oh, I
These
call him
guys
old
are
Jim Miller.
throwback dinosaurs.
Let me tell you something right now.
Let the people know.
Let me tell you something right now. Jim Miller has been fighting since 2008. He was in UFC 100.
Financial
he was in
collapse.
UFC 200, and he will be in UFC 300.
That's electric.
Wow.
That's really
He
cool.
is unbelievable. He
That's-
is a legend, and he is actually
Old Jim
on
Miller.
a tear right now. He is on a tear. Although Bobby Green is, he's Bobby Green. He's young. He's hip. He's a stylish looking guy. He just got his ass murdered by Jalen Turner, who we will be talking about very, very shortly.
murdered.
But he died. And I don't think dead people do well in fights.
True.
So
Fair statement.
off of my heart and of respect to the legend, I am betting old Jim Miller at plus 185.
Respect it.
Respect.
Next, as previously mentioned, Jalen Turner at minus 235 going against Renato Moicano.
Wow. That's well done.
Thank you. Moicano is at plus 190. And wow, how do I say this? Moicano is like...
Here we go.
he's like a tiger against a kitten
I knew it.
when they're on the ground. And Jalen is like a centipede versus a bald eagle at full flight, right? So Jalen,
How does
if he
that
get...
collision work?
Oh, it doesn't,
Okay.
because nature
making
doesn't
sure.
allow such a destructive episode to happen.
Okay.
Jalen, if he gets on the ground, just squirms and he doesn't know what to do and he will die. Whereas Moicano is one of the, he's Brazilian. So, that kind of ends
Brazilian
up.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, no,
You'll
so,
get
So,
tapped out.
Moicano.
no.
Yeah.
Because the reason is that Moicano only can go to the ground, but every fight starts standing. And if you can't take him down, you can't take him down. So the bet here is you combo Jalen Turner at minus 235 and the over of 1.5 rounds, because all Moicano is going to do is try to take him down. And if Turner can keep him off and just knock his ass out in like the second round,
Chilling.
that's it. So moving on into the prelims. The first of the prelims is Diego Lopez versus Sadiq Youssef. Okay, this is a little bit of a bias bet because I have been the biggest fan of it's Lopes, not Lopez. But I've been a really big fan of him since his first UFC fight, which he actually lost. But the reason why I was such a big fan of him is because he was one of the most tenacious fighters I have seen in a very long time. He has unbelievable heart and he can strike like a mother. He's
Like a mother.
he
just
like
took
like
big
an
things to
angry, like an
second
angry
first.
mother. Yeah,
Like, if you misbehave, she said,
oh,
Mike,
Sit down, boy.
Mini Zach Eady, get your ass over here. you spanked around.
Wait, what you mean by that? That's rude.
In one of our comments, someone said, "Yo, is that Zach Eady?" And we all thought it was f***ing hilarious because tell me, Mike, look in the camera. Look at me to zoom.
Look angry.
Tell me that's not Zach
Look up
Eady.
here. Look up here.
Yeah, look.
Sing 7-3 real quick.
Go ahead.
right.
Go ahead. Zach Eady without the growth hormones.
Either way, Diego Lopes, he has a pretty solid striking game, but he is most well known for his wrestling. And I think because he's so well rounded, he's going to be able to take down Sadiq Youssef, who is actually a really good fighter. But it's a heart thing. I love Diego Lopes here at minus 140. He's a favorite for a reason, and I think he's going to clean up. Next, Aljamain Sterling versus Calvin Kattar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold my daddy. This is the bet. This is
All
a
right.
big one.
So, if you've been following UFC for some time, you know that one of the most historic UFC fights ever is Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar, where Max Holloway broke the record for the most strikes thrown ever in a UFC fight. Calvin Kattar got so badly beaten, I think Dana talked about it for like a couple months. Like it was just awful. And I since then have pretty much not thought Calvin Kattar has been anything. And he was given a win right after that fight, like he was literally tossed some like
Nobody.
nobody. And then he lost to Josh Emmett and Arnold Allen. And so he's coming off two losses. And Aljamain Sterling, I mean, he took 8 months off of fighting Sugar Sean for the belt.
Yep.
And I mean, he's well enough recovered.
Yep.
He was a contender for the belt for a reason. He is unbelievable. Aljamain Sterling all day here.
Wasn't
Love
he a
that
favorite
one.
in that fight too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Against Sugar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he was the
One right hand.
I was
He
gonna
was
say,
the
he was
champ.
favored in a
He didn't lose it.
championship fight his last time he was out there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nice.
Correct.
Insane.
Next up. Oh my God, this is a crazy fight. Yuri Prohaska at -105 versus Alexander Ratic at -125. This is probably the most difficult fight for me to choose, just because I think both of them have unbelievable talent. I mean, they're both just massive giants who are like, they're kind of scary. So I don't really know what to think.
It's good analysis right there.
No, they're just scary human beings.
The thing is Ratic or Alexander, we haven't seen for 2 years. He lost to Blachowicz and literally just stopped fighting since 2022. And Yuri lost to Alex Pereira in November. And so my reasoning for this pick is that I think Yuri is coming back way too soon. November into April. I mean, when you're that big and you get hit that hard by somebody that strong, I mean, it takes a really, really big toll on you. And I think Ratic did the right thing in taking enough time, regaining back to his full strength, and is going to come back stronger and better than ever. So I'm going Ratic here at -125. Next up, I don't even know if this is really a pick, but Bo Nickel is -2120, going against Cody Brundage at +1120.
It's not a pick.
It's not a pick. The thing is that Bo Nickel is one of those people who the UFC just wants to be a contender
really
for the
want him to
belt.
be a face.
And so they will give him 7-8 fighters or 7-8 fights that are just going to put him boosted into your
You've
rankings.
been saying this too for a minute now.
Oh, for sure. And it's
Yeah.
so evident. It's like so clear as day. So the odds are showing you exactly what it is. The best thing you're going to be able to do is similar to what we did with Robellis, and that is wait until fight day and get the best juice, whatever it is, on under rounds, him by knockout, him in whatever round or whatever. But he'll probably finish in the first or second round, so it's worth a sprinkle on either. And moving on. Saryukin versus Charles Oliveira. Armand Saryukin at -220 versus Charles Oliveira at +180. Okay, this is another one of those I hate Charles Oliveira so much. But
He does. He really
no,
does.
The dude is good, though.
No, he's really good.
yeah,
He just hates it.
yeah.
He's scary.
He's also scary. Yeah, he has the two
he's
tattoos of
No, I remember when I
he has
saw
his
him the
daughter
first
and
time.
his wife
I bet
and-
against him. I forget. Was it? I think it was a championship fight. Or
Yeah, it
something.
was.
When I bet against him, I didn't know what he looked like.
mounted the
and
back
he
of
came
someone.
out, and then he had the like children tattooed on him, and immediately I was like calling my bookie. I was like, cancel,
Why?
cancel, cancel.
Why?
I was like, cancel
You know
that bet.
immediately when
Yeah,
you
I
see
was
him.
like, this is a terrible idea.
You didn't know he was from the favelas of
No,
Brazil.
Yeah, no,
You're like, I would
Yeah.
have completely bet on this
Yeah,
guy.
that's the worst thing ever. It
Charles Oliveira. So when we watched him, when that happened, was
was a while ago.
it was a while ago, and it was actually probably like a year or two after his daughter was born, which is when he had that whole story about how he's on this like new wave and it's a new guy. Both of them are coming off wins against Beneil Dariush, which are very impressive because Dariush is great. But I'm just gonna lean on the age here because Saryukin is, I think, 6 years younger, and he's been on a tear since 2022. He literally hasn't lost a fight, and you know, I'm just gonna lean slightly on Saryukin here. Also, keep in mind, I am biased against Charles Oliveira because I hate you, Charles Oliveira. So, moving on. Haha, this is a fun one. The BMF belt, the new BMF belt.
Yeah.
Max Holloway, the blessed Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje at -165. This is the only fight. This is the only time when I won't use my brain. I won't look into anything. I strictly based off principle. I love Max Holloway so much. There is nobody and no reason that will ever convince me to not bet on him. He's going to be one of my biggest bets of the night.
Holy smokes.
He is.
love that.
I mean, Max Holloway is one of those
Riding.
people who
Literally just a scrapper.
He's the definition of a scrapper. He has insane heart. He's also the most. I actually would probably put this as a statement that he is the most cardio fit fighter we have ever seen in the octagon. That guy has an unbelievable gas tank. I mean,
Over
there's
Tony?
Unless he's fighting Volkanovski, but yeah.
okay.
More
Well,
than
that's when
Tony
he was
for-
taken down a lot too. But yeah, yeah, I would say so. I mean, he broke the total strikes thrown record for a reason, right? So, gonna go with Max strictly off principle, but you're getting him at plus 135. I love the juice.
What odds did you see?
Plus 135.
I see plus 190, so it might be moving around quite a bit.
I'll take
There might
plus
be-
190.
There might be extra juice there too.
I love plus
But
190.
these odds are also different there, so who knows?
Moving on to the co-main event of the night is I actually don't even. It's so disrespectful. I can't even say her name, but Yan Shanyan at plus 330.
Zhao
That's pretty
Nan.
good.
That was pretty good.
Zhao-
Plus
Nan.
330 versus Wei Li Zhang at minus 480.
Yeah,
Wei Li Zhang
harder.
could literally take down most untrained men in the entire world.
Oh, we're doing this again.
I mean, she is
Pause.
insane.
What do you mean by that?
Untrained men.
What do you mean?
She would,
Any
okay.
age?
She would
He said
actually.
most untrained
She would be
men.
any untrained man under the age of 20.
That's absurd.
That's just incorrect.
Untrained.
Wait, so you're saying like football players who aren't
Like
trained
Aaron
to
Donald
fight.
at 19.
Okay, wait, maybe not. All right.
This girl. We would have just hold her.
You said any untrained man under the age of 20.
Are you including people who are like 6'5", like 300 pounds?
well, maybe not. I'm kind of thinking of the average, like the average male.
Yes, last
The
week,
average untrained male.
last
you need to
week-
start saying those stuff.
last
Like,
week you said Caitlin Clark couldn't take
a
the
14
below average public high school.
Caitlin Clark
freshman,
probably can't
Frostoff,
pick up
freshman.
Daniel
No,
he
Cormier
said
like it's a.
Frostoff.
No, Frostoff teams. But your reasoning for that had nothing to do with basketball skills. She's obviously more skilled than these people. It was due to the inherent
Physicality.
athletic
ability of a
man versus a woman. So
Yeah,
now
but
you're saying
UFC has-
so you're saying extremely highly trained woman can't take a man in basketball, not because of the skill, because of the physicality. Now we're saying extremely well trained woman fighter can take a man regardless of the physicality.
I
Or
think
not
it's
those-
pretty common sense, and especially if you were to talk to any mixed martial arts practitioner, that especially like if we were to focus in on, let's say, jiu-jitsu, it actually doesn't matter what gender you are. You'll see a lot of women beating a lot of men, especially if they're like a belt above or whatever. And it strictly comes down to technique, and that is actually the whole point of UFC in the first place, is to figure out like, okay, could brute strength and size
Did you hear
everything?
Did you
right?
hear what Sean Strickland
Sean Strickland does a lot
the
of things
UFC
for
fighter
publicity.
himself that said women's UFC, not that I agree with this, but said it's not even the same sport. Most men can just go out and beat them. Like, what are we even doing here? They should make it a different sport.
Yeah, it's not true. I mean, that's literally not true. There is, I'm blanking on who it was. I think it was Andrade or something like that, who put out a challenge like a few years ago in Brazil to anybody who wanted to come and spar with her. And there was a guy who took her up on it. He was a trained kickboxer, and she knocked his ass out, like clean,
That's
like
lit.
fucking, like flatlined him.
Yeah.
So I,
I just
mean,
have- I
there's
just have-
definitely
We need
So
a
I feel
mixed
like
martial
taking one
artist expert
specific
in the,
event
in the comments.
doesn't justify
Wait,
the
I also
entire comment, though.
I'm just saying the logic behind the flip in my brain
Yeah, I
from
mean, it's
last
also
week's
Contradictory.
Caitlin Clark fiasco, strictly on the basis of strength
I've
and height
seen-
and athleticism, to this one where the sport is literally reliant solely on strength, athleticism.
I've seen
yeah.
Wei Li Zhang pick up Daniel Cormier, who's probably 250, 260 pounds.
He wasn't
pick him up
fighting
like
back,
he was
though.
Nothing.
He wasn't trying to not get picked
No,
up.
but it just shows how, like, it shows her strength. You're talking
Sure.
about strength and physicality. Like, she is.
I'm sure there's an
ridiculous.
average
Caitlin
man
Clark's
that can-
6 foot. I mean, like, she's like, we're talking like features that if Daniel Cormier didn't want to get picked up, he's not getting picked up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's an Olympic wrestler. That's
Exactly.
a different.
So you go ahead,
He's not everybody's an Olympic wrestler.
take an offensive
That's a
lineman
crazy-
in a college football team.
Take Bakhtiari
Yeah.
Okay.
she's-
at 19.
These are superhumans.
Okay.
Take a high school running back.
At 6'2"
She could
or
probably
something.
take down most.
The best
most high
frosh
schools.
No,
soft
she-
boy.
The best
Oh, I like
14-year-old.
that. The best freshman.
Well, if you just do physics, like mass and acceleration, and you take someone who's like 5, what is Wei Li Zhang? Is she 5'2" or 5'3"?
I'm gonna look her up.
That'd be.
She,
I'm gonna look
she's
up her.
like 5'4".
I'm gonna look up her height and weight.
She's a small human. But
First like a 6.
If they just
anyways,
ran in,
what
Oh my
all
God.
I'm trying to say,
No,
Mike, guess her height and weight.
5'2", 125, right?
5'4", 115.
Oh yeah, 115.
Wow.
Yeah, straw weight, right?
115.
and
Yeah, straw
5'4".
weight.
I mean,
sense.
115. That's
Mike, you could
Dude.
throw around a little one.
Mike.
I'm not tossing around Wei Li Zhang. I'll tell
I
you
know that's
that.
different though, but
That's-
you're over 20 years old, so obviously.
If we took who's the
What?
running back at our Jamar? If we had Jamar,
Jamar
and,
Jefferson.
and then if we had Jamar and Wei Li Zhang just run at each other,
That's not the
that's a fight.
not the scenario that we're talking about.
That is a
This
fight.
is in a ring.
That is
That might
quite
be his.
That's
in a
all
ring.
right.
That is quite literally a
Running
fight.
at each other is different than fighting.
That might be his game plan, though.
But that might be what works. In a fight, you're just throwing
Trying
your
to kill
bodies at
someone.
each other, whether it's you're throwing your hands or your legs.
Although
you're-
some people are a lot smarter and technical with doing it.
Yeah, but your only thing was like, oh, like you brought up the jujitsu, like men and women will beat men in jujitsu, and like yeah, that happens because they're only doing jujitsu on each other, and women are like flexible. Yeah, they can beat someone in only jujitsu, but what happens when punches are getting thrown?
UFC, yeah.
By
Like
280
like
pounds,
there is
6'4".
technique in it.
Well,
and-
also, the
but you
punches-
also see like Greg Hardy, who was an NFL player, like his first fight in the UFC.
Yeah, I know who
He
Greg
literally
Hardy is.
sprinted.
I know who Greg Hardy
He was a defensive end. He sprinted at the guy, just socked the guy.
Street style, just
You know what I mean? And like he took the guy by surprise.
Yeah.
And you can't control that. Like that, you can do that in a fight.
Yeah, you ain't jujitsu.
You can't do that in basketball.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
electric.
that's my only
All right.
argument.
The
No, that's
tangent
fine.
was
Whatever.
crazy there. Holy
Given
smokes.
Yeah, that was insane.
the statement that she could beat most men, I'm assuming you're picking her to beat a woman.
Yeah, I mean, Wei Li Zhang is the pick here by a mile.
Yeah.
It's not even close. And last but
Remains
certainly
champ.
not least
I hope you're riding with me on this
is
one.
Yeah,
going to be the main event of Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira. Jamal Hill at plus 100 even money versus Alex Pereira minus 130. Super close fight. Jamal Hill has been on a tear. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. He is literally knocked out, I think, like 5 of his past 9 fights or something like that, right? He's unbelievable. I think he's 24 or 25, something like that. He's pretty young.
He's a stud.
He's built like a Greek god, and he's really scary. Alex Pereira,
He's also
he
The boogeyman.
lost.
literally God.
He is 2 for 3 in his last 3 fights, if you want to look at it that way. He lost to Izzy, of course, as we all know.
Yeah.
But Alex Pereira is a generational talent, and I do not say that lightly.
And he's the current champion.
He is the current champion,
Yeah.
and I mean, yeah, just Alex Pereira minus 130 all day here.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I was waiting for that. I was
And
waiting.
I'm also putting multiple units on Pereira by knockout.
Yeah.
Pereira by knockout.
he
Pereira by
finishes-
knockout. Pereira
Him
by
versus
knockout.
Yuri was ridiculous.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, there you have it, Mike's card. It was a short card this
Yeah,
time.
very short.
Yeah.
You really
That
short.
that was-
I skipped a
That
couple.
was awesome how we just witnessed him talk about golf and then just like straight up from the sport he probably
Yep.
knows the absolute least about
Yeah.
to the
sport,
sport
yeah,
that
so-
he's just a
No,
pure
we didn't talk
expert.
football.
My bad.
Oh, horns down, baby.
Hey.
That was quick.
Hey,
That was really funny.
he finished second in Mortals.
Oh.
I got contact.
And he got swat.
I got contact before I did that. I got contact
I
before
saw
I
the
did that.
little feel there. That was a little.
No, that was well
Flag
said,
on the
Tate.
play,
That was
flag
well
on the
said,
play.
Tate. It was a short card. Short card. Ryan.
I'll get through it for you. I'll get through them a little.
All right.
quicker.
Let's hear what we got.
Yeah. First off, I'm just gonna go to the Jalen Turner fight. Jalen Turner's a way better fighter. He has better reach. He's longer. I don't think Moicano will be able to get to the ground like Michael said.
Yep.
I love the minus 235. You're getting. I know it's a little tough to bet that, but I love it. I also love it parlayed with Figueredo because you said it was minus 300 and it was too much
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, yeah,
if you
yeah.
parlay them, you could get closer to 1-to-1, a little maybe
Even
a little
money,
under
yeah.
one, even money.
Oh, I like that
Parlay
idea.
those two. I really like both those fighters. I think those would be 2 early wins that you see on the card. You'll get through. Like Mike was saying, Diego Lopes is just a freak. He's just a really
love
good
him so
fighter.
much.
He's been fighting really well. Yusuf's also really good. This is a great fight in my opinion. I think that's why the line's so close to each other.
Yep.
And that's why I just think because these fighters have only fought like twice in the past 2.5 years, 3 years. One of them only fought once. I think Yusuf only fought once. I think I'm betting the under. I think one of them's gonna be rusty and one of them's just gonna
Ooh.
Just slip.
Just get caught.
I think someone's gonna get
Ooh.
caught. They've only fought 3 times the last 2 years combined. One of them's gonna get caught. They're dirty. I mean, these are good fighters. I just think one of them gets caught. I like the under. I'm not gonna bet a side. I think it'll be a great fight.
I like that.
Betting the freaking Czech Samurai Yuri. I mean, there's nothing. He was one of the most dominant fighters. He won like 10 fights in a row in 8 years, and he only lost to literal god of the sport right now, Alex Pereira. You know what I mean? Like he had one bad fight, he lost to the champion and got murdered. I think this is just a reflection of that fight and how he looks slow. He kind of looks shooken up, and I think it is a quick comeback after a championship bout. But I just think.
That's what, 5 months?
Yeah, I just think he's better, and not gonna lie, Rakic hasn't won since 2021. So not winning in 3 years has to show you something. I mean, he's fought a couple times in 2022, once in 2023. I just think it's gonna show something. He hasn't won in a while.
It's even money too, right?
Minus.
You're
even money.
you get the underdog at even money.
Yeah.
So it's great. I told anyone if they have a Bo Nickel bet, I will ride it. I can't bet the minus 3,000, 25, whatever it is. I'll ride the under. I'll ride the knockout. Whatever we feel like on the day of, we'll make a short.
Yeah.
We'll give you a Bo Nickel bet for fun. I'm betting age is a factor in here. I'm the opposite of Mike. I'm going to Oliveira because the guy's a fucking freak. Like, he's a scary man. He has the experience. He knows how to fight in these fights. I mean, he's fought in insane fights, like 4 championship bout fights. Only lost one of them in the past 10 years. I just think Sarukian, or whatever you say his name, he's younger, and I just think that, like, I don't see him. I haven't seen him in his biggest fights. I've seen Oliveira in a bunch of big fights. I think it'll be a fun fight, but I just like Oliveira here. I am the opposite of you in Holloway. I don't like him. I think he never beats good people. I think he beats a bunch of scrums. I actually don't remember the last time I think he's been in one championship fight in his life and he lost it. He hasn't done anything, like literally nothing.
That's definitely not true.
I mean, the past
He
like
held the belt a couple of times.
no, that was in the early stages when he fought nobody. I'm saying the past like 6 years. We can look it up, but I'm pretty sure he has done
we'll look it
absolutely nothing. Like, literally, I mean, don't get me started with Volkanovski. Literally, him. Like a good fighter finally fights him and literally beat him 3 straight times. How much more can you come back and lose?
To be fair, Volkanovski is the pound for pound
But
best
how many
fighter
times
in
can
the
you?
UFC.
But that was his only fight. He never fought anyone. He's not beating good people. He finally said, "Hold on, I'll finally try to fight someone good," and Volk not once, not twice.
I mean,
but 3 times.
we could bring up his history, and I could name you fighters that are good.
Recently,
whatever.
yes, maybe in the first 4 years of his career. But I mean, Justin Gaethje's just better in my opinion. I think the reason that you're getting him at minus 175 for a reason. Some people don't have it. Gaethje beat Chandler, he beat Poirier. Both
he's
of
a
them
great
have been
fighter,
fighting well.
yeah.
He's a fantastic fighter. And I think you're getting odds for that, for a good reason. And then I have 2 more bets. Obviously, the dog of the world, Alex Pereira. I mean, nothing to it there. I actually think you're getting ridiculous odds here. I have no idea how this is better than minus 200.
Minus 130 is insane.
I mean, he's a
That's
freak.
really
He's
good.
just unbelievable. He only lost Izzy in the second fight, which, I mean, when you do back-to-back against one of the best fighters in the sport, that has tended to happen. You might lose. Before that, he didn't lose. Like, there was nothing to it. And then fight of the entire year, put your life on it, Aljamain Sterling, minus 170. Before the Sean Strickland fight, people were saying he was going to be one of the best fighters in the division. Nothing was going to change. He got caught with the right. He was fine in the fight and got caught with one of the best rights in the game right now. Probably the best right, the most electric fighter.
Wait, didn't he fight Sugar Sean?
Sugar Sean.
Yeah,
You said
and Sean.
And Sugar Sean is one of the
Strickland.
best counters. He is the
No,
best.
you
Oh, I
said-
meant Sean
you said
my bad.
Strickland, I was
My
tripping
bad,
out.
I was
Yeah.
tripping. No, but yeah, Sean O'Malley, one of the best rights. It was a ridiculous counter. Got caught. It happens. Before that, he was holding the belt.
No,
I
yeah.
think he had the championship belt for 4 or 5 fights. Like, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He didn't lose. He won for like 8 straight years. Aljamain Sterling, all in max bet.
Love
minus
Aljo.
170.
Love it.
Well, I like that. I like those a lot. You and Mike are kind of aligned on a lot of spots.
Oh, yeah.
most
which
of
is,
them. Most of
which is good. You guys were last
There's
time,
like 1 or 2.
and you guys went super hot together.
Rock
So,
that.
Let's do it again.
Mario, what do you like here?
All right, starting off with Devison Figueiredo. Big fan of Figueiredo. I'm gonna take his money line and then parlay that with the over in the rounds.
Love that.
Just
Love that.
kind of similar
It'll
to what
last,
Mike
yeah.
said. I think it's a good way to kind of minus 300 isn't the best number, but you parlay it with the over, get that
juice
number
back.
down a little bit. Yep. I didn't know Jim Miller was so electric.
Old Jim Miller. fan.
Old Jim Miller.
He's 40 years old.
No,
He's
I'm
42.
adding that
No,
to
40.
my card.
40. Oh.
I am going to be betting
crazy.
Jim Miller plus 160 or 190, whatever.
Dude, he's on a tear. Like, he's good. He's still good. I love
just
it.
the fact that he was in UFC 100, 200, now 300.
That's cool.
No, I
He's
have
awesome.
to. It's
He's a
just
legend.
I have to. Diego Lopes. Not gonna relay too much what Ryan and
Yeah.
Michael already said, but yeah, love Diego Lopes. Aljamain Sterling. he's one of my favorite fighters. Obviously, just lost to Sugar Sean, but Calvin Kattar, I don't know. I don't think he's that good. So should make easy work of him. Yuri Prohaska, I don't know. I think he's gonna get caught. So
Let's go.
so I'm riding with Mike on this. I like
baby.
I like Alexander Rakic here. It just makes no sense. This line makes no sense.
It's because what Micah says is coming off so early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 5
But
months.
yeah, I mean, you're right.
really quick.
Yeah, it is a quick turnaround, but I don't know. Either they just have no respect for him or they know something
Yeah,
about
true.
Alexander Rakic here. Because, I mean, the dude hasn't won, like you said, since 2021.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Saryukin versus Oliveira. I have to go Oliveira here. I actually am kind of a fan of Oliveira. I just think his jiu-jitsu, if you watch him, I mean, he's just insane. He's
terrifying.
one of these Brazilians are just terrifying in general. So give me Oliveira plus the 200. Bo Nickel, if you guys can find a line like they've been saying, I'm not going to be betting minus 3,000.
Yeah, you can't find it now.
Gaethje versus Holloway. I love both these fighters. If I had to pick who I think's gonna win, is Gaethje, but I don't like betting against Holloway because Holloway is just one of my favorite people. So I'm just gonna be betting the over on the rounds in this fight because
Should be
both
good
these guys have a chin and both these guys can go the distance. So I don't think one of these guys is gonna get caught early. So
Is it 2.5 or
I think it's 2.5. Even if it's 3.5, or no, it has to be
Well,
2.5 because it's only 3 rounds, right?
I don't know if it is the BMF belt, so they might make it 5.
that's
just
what I'm
for-
saying, I don't
just
know.
for the
I'm not
BMF.
sure.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
I would think it would be 5, but
I wouldn't be surprised if they make it 5.
I don't know much about Zhaonan Yan versus Weili Zhang. I know Weili Zhang's the champion, so I'd probably bet on her.
It's Whaley.
Yeah, it's Weili. I've seen her
it's
fight. Mike loves his women fighters.
He loves
big
women
woman guy.
fighting.
Big woman. guy.
Loves big.
Shout out Rose, who won her last fight like 2
Rose
weeks ago.
Namajunas. Yeah, shout out Rose.
Shout out
I
Rose.
remember when you were saying she could beat a bunch of guys.
She could
And
beat
then
me.
she had the one fight
mean
where
by
she
that?
threw one punch in like 3 rounds. Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Anyways.
Yeah,
and then getting
I love
to
Rose.
obviously the title fight, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Not much to say here. Alex Pereira is the boogeyman. And he's a scary mofo. He is gonna make it's gonna be a great fight, honestly. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think, but I just think Pereira's kicks, dude. Because he has the power up top, but his kicks, I think that's how
He's
he's
just
gonna
a perfect fight. Sleep perfect.
yeah, I think that's how he's gonna. That's my call. I think he's gonna get him with a knockout kick to the
That'd be
face.
like
That would be
insane.
sick.
I would freak
Especially
out. UFC
because
300
He has
on
the
it.
most nonchalant, just like he'll be standing like on his heels, and then he just throws it up like so nonchalant from like weird angles. I don't know, but
That'd be
anyways, Alex
crazy
Pereira.
because it'd be to the back of his head because because Jamal Hill's a southpaw, and
That'd be even more
Pereira's orthodox, so that would just come out of nowhere for him.
But even
would
if he
be
throws it
wild.
like straight up, you know, like
Oh,
not
yeah.
even to the side. Like,
That'd be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
But yeah, like I don't follow UFC nearly as closely as Mike, but I definitely watch all of the events. So I stick to betting on the people that I know. I don't know as much of the young guys. I just kind of ride Mike hard on those.
Time out.
I
You
love
ride
riding
Mike.
Mike.
Pause.
I love riding Mike for
He loves
UFC.
it.
No,
He loves it.
resume.
Play.
So I'm adding Yol Jim
old
Jim
to the
Miller.
card
You have to add.
as a
Jim
principal
Miller.
play.
Yeah, principal
Get the
play.
But yeah, I'm doing Pereira minus 130 for the main event. I think he's going to dominate. I love Charles Oliveira at plus 200 or plus whatever you're getting him at. Aljamain Sterling was actually my favorite bet before everyone else. There was his favorite bet too, which makes me more confident.
Oh yeah.
I think this is being fought featherweight.
Sterling.
Yeah, because he's fighting
Yeah,
Qatar,
like-
who's a featherweight, but Sterling's number 2 in the bantamweight rankings.
Yeah, he's going down.
So he's going down.
Yeah.
I feel like
I love that.
I don't know how it's gonna work out, but I feel like they're gonna set for the inevitable rematch between Sean O'Malley and Sterling, which would be electric.
Yeah, it'd be a
Wow.
championship.
And I think they would definitely sell a lot of fights as the main event. So I think Sterling. Not only do I think he's a better fighter, but I think UFC wants it. So I think Sterling gets the win
It's
there.
a sharp take.
And then Max Holloway plus 190. I like him as well.
I'm solo, Justin.
Let's go.
Yeah,
baby.
Ryan's riding solo there. But those are my 4 picks. Tape.
All right. Well, my favorite pick of the week, probably Cody Brundage plus 1,000 against
Oh, my-
Bonik. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, dude, I was about to say. Holy
Cody
Jesus.
Brundage is gonna die.
He might not live after that.
Shout out Bo Nickel. He wins every under fight time ever on
Yeah.
anything. I don't watch a lot of UFC, but I know that.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
facts.
under fight time.
You don't
for
need to watch a lot
Bo
to learn
Nickel.
to
Yeah,
know
you
that.
don't need
Yeah.
to watch a lot. You just
can't.
hear things. You hear
It's
things.
just
Yeah, I don't
over.
watch a lot of
Hear the
UFC, but there's a couple names that I do know. So for the card, I will be betting on Alex Pereira.
Bang.
That guy's an absolute beast, and then also Aljamain Sterling. I mean, I actually do remember watching that. Like, I watched that fight, and like Ryan said, it was just that one right that kind of killed him. Like,
Yeah.
And he was definitely in the
So
mix.
he was
might have been
definitely
winning.
in the
He's a
He
great
might have been
striker.
winning the
He's
fight.
He's a
winning
great
the fight.
striker.
Pretty
Yeah.
good early.
Neck
but
and
pretty
neck.
even,
Yeah.
the
It was
kid can
close.
play, so it's gonna be. I think that's gonna be the best fight, or not. I mean, not gonna be the best fight, but I think it's gonna be the easiest one to win. I love Aljamain Sterling.
Oh, I
Oh,
love that. That's my
let's
only
go.
max bet.
Dude,
That's
wait,
the
let's
only-
go.
we all have Aljamain Sterling. That's a
Consensus.
unanimous
Consensus!
DJ Hours consensus. Aljamain Sterling.
I'm gonna bet so much money
Wow,
on that.
first consensus.
Can we get an
UFC
old
bet.
gym consensus as well?
No.
Old Jim?
No.
Old Jim.
Half table consensus.
Miller.
or-
Half table
Hey,
consensus.
and Holloway. Take your Holloway too. You got Holloway half.
Half
table.
table
Oh, yeah, half
consensus
table
on-
No,
Holloway.
I didn't. I'm not on Holloway.
Oh, he's on the over.
I'm
There's
just
no
like
lean.
over on the round.
Oh,
Bang.
Oh, you said I'm never gonna bet against Holloway.
Less
Yeah.
than less than half.
Contact.
Because I said Gaethje's probably gonna win.
Didn't we watch that Sugar Sean fight from the bar with the crazy chick as the waitress?
Yes.
Nah, it was a great time.
Great time.
was a
Crazy
great
chick. Great time.
You know who you
We
are.
wrestled before and after.
You know who
Friend
you
of the
are.
pod.
Wait, what?
Shout out waitress.
Mike, you
I
know,
was in the UFC.
I'm
Mike
not
was in
bringing
the
up
UFC.
names. We can talk this off pod, but let's just say you had a.
You had a
an
UFC bet. You had a
experience.
championship fight that night. That's all I gotta say.
He was definitely playing around with his belt.
It was the under
Yeah,
rounds.
it was the under rounds. Under rounds.
Under rounds. He didn't make it to the gate.
Nope,
He
nothing
didn't
there.
make it to the octagon.
There was no walkout.
Mike was knocked out early. He tried to lock himself in. Never mind. But yeah, that was the podcast.
He missed weight. Yeah.
Holy
my
Jesus.
God.
Well, okay, watch the real fights for UFC 300. They'll be electric. Mike will be a side fight if you want to see it coming
Yeah.
up in a couple weeks.
Yeah, Tate. Before we sign out here after a little tangent, Mike's crying over there. Tell us
Zach
what they
Edey.
need to do.
It's not often, boys. We get two of our best weeks of the whole year. UFC 300 and Masters Week. Woo! Some of the best weeks of the year. We're gonna be bringing you a lot more action. Check our socials. We're gonna be bringing out shorts and stuff like that. More plays for the rest of the week. So stay tuned. So like, comment, subscribe, leave the notification bell on, and share our channel with a friend. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
UFC 300.